He was a man who never begged. In a world where power meant everything, the Korean mafia boss had it all: fear, control, and absolute authority. No one questioned him. No one got close to him. And no one ever saw him break. Until one night. She wasn't supposed to matter. Just a maid, quiet, invisible, replaceable. But something about her presence unsettled him. The way she looked at him, without fear. And when the silence between them grew too heavy, when the tension finally snapped, the most powerful man in the room did the unthinkable. He didn't give an order. He made a plea. Just one night. And in that moment, everything he built began to fall apart. Subscribe now, like and comment for more powerful mafia love stories that will keep you hooked till the end. The mansion was silent, too silent. Not the kind of silence that brings peace, but the kind that makes your chest tighten, like something is always watching. Every corner of the estate carried his presence. Power, control, fear. This was his world. A world where one man ruled without question. A man whose name alone could make grown men tremble. The Korean mafia boss. He didn't believe in weakness. Didn't tolerate mistakes. And he certainly didn't let emotions get in the way. To him, people were simple, useful or disposable. And she was supposed to be nothing. Just another maid, moving quietly through the halls. Head down, voice low, never crossing the invisible line. But from the moment she stepped into his house, something shifted. It was subtle at first. A glance that lasted too long. A presence he couldn't ignore. And for reasons he couldn't explain. He started noticing her. The way she didn't flinch like the others. The way her silence felt different. Dangerous. Because in his world, anything he couldn't control was a threat. And yet, he didn't send her away. That was his first mistake. Because the night everything changed was the night he stopped being in control. The night the silence between them turned into something else. Something heavier, something forbidden. And for the first time in his life, the man who commanded everything found himself asking for something he had no right to. Just one night. The mansion stood on a hill, far from the noise of the city. It was beautiful, but also cold. Inside, everything was perfect, clean, silent, controlled. Just like the man who owned it. Donald Kim walked through the long hallway, his steps slow and steady. His black suit fit him perfectly. His tattoos showed slightly under his collar. No one looked at him directly. Not the guards. Not the workers. Not even his closest men. Fear lived in this house. And Donald liked it that way. He stopped suddenly. Someone was in the hallway ahead. A woman. New. She held a tray in her hands. Her fingers were steady, but her eyes calm. Too calm. She didn't look away fast enough. That was mistake number one. Donald stared at her. She didn't bow immediately. Mistake number two. Your name, he said, his voice low. Kate, she replied. Her voice shook a little, but not much. Interesting. Donald stepped closer. Most people stepped back when he did that. She didn't. And for the first time in a long time, Donald noticed someone. Kate had only been working there for 3 days. She already knew something was wrong with this place. Too quiet. Too tense. Too many rules. Don't speak unless spoken to. Don't look at him. Don't ask questions. That's what the older maid told her. Kate nodded, but she wasn't scared like the others. She had seen worse. Much worse. Still, something about Donald Kim made her uneasy. Not just fear. Something deeper. That morning, she was cleaning his office when she noticed something strange. A photo. Hidden behind a drawer. A younger Donald, smiling. And beside him, A woman holding a baby. Kate frowned. She had never seen him smile before. Why hide this? She quickly placed it back. But she didn't know. Donald had been watching her the whole time. From the doorway. Silent. Donald didn't like being watched. But he had been watching her. Kate moved differently. She didn't rush. She didn't panic. She didn't act like she was afraid to breathe. That bothered him. That night, he called his right-hand man. Find out everything about her. Everything. Donald's eyes darkened. Everything. Hours later, the file was on his desk. Kate, 30 years old. No family records. Moved countries twice. Worked many small jobs. Nothing special. But something didn't add up. Too clean. Too simple. Donald leaned back. He hated mysteries. And she was becoming one. Kate knew he was watching her. She could feel it. The way his eyes followed her. Cold, but curious. It made her uneasy. But she couldn't leave. She needed this job. More than anyone knew. That night, something unexpected happened. Gunshots. Loud, sudden. Kate froze. People started running. Men shouting. She stepped out of her room and saw chaos. Armed men had entered the compound. One of them saw her. He pointed his gun. Kate's heart stopped. But before he could shoot, a body dropped in front of her. Donald. He stood between her and the gun. His face was dark. His voice calm. Go inside. She didn't move. Now. This time she ran. But her heart stayed behind. Because for the first time, she saw something different in him. Not just power. Protection. The attack was over quickly. Donald's men handled it. They always did. But something stayed in his mind. Kate's face. The fear in her eyes. But also something else. Trust. He didn't understand it. The next day, he called her. She stood in front of him again. This time, more careful. Why didn't you run immediately? He asked. I was shocked, she said softly. He stepped closer. Too close. Or, you trusted I would protect you. She looked up at him. Silence. Then, yes. That answer hit him harder than any bullet. Because no one trusted him. Not like that. And for a moment, he didn't know what to say. Donald couldn't sleep that night. Kate's voice stayed in his head. Yes. Simple. Honest. Dangerous. He walked through the house and stopped outside her door. He didn't knock. He just stood there. Why? He didn't know. Inside, Kate sat on her bed holding something. The photo. The one she found. She whispered softly. Who did this to you? Donald's eyes widened. She knew. He pushed the door open. Kate stood quickly, shocked. The photo fell. Silence filled the room. His face turned cold. Where did you get that? Kate hesitated. Then, I found it. Big mistake. Donald stepped forward. His eyes darker than ever. That is not yours to see. But Kate didn't step back. Instead, she said something no one ever dared to say. You weren't always like this. Silence. Heavy. Dangerous. And for the first time, Donald didn't deny it. The room felt smaller. Too quiet. Too heavy. Donald stood still, his chest rising slowly. Kate stood just a few steps away. Her heart beating so loud she could almost hear it. Everything between them had changed. No more distance. No more pretending. Just truth. Raw and dangerous. You should leave, Donald said, but his voice was low, unsure. Kate shook her head. If I leave now, I won't come back. That hit him harder than anything she had said before. His jaw tightened. Good, he replied. But neither of them moved. Seconds passed. Long, slow burning. Then Kate stepped closer. One step. Then another. Until she was right in front of him. Close enough to feel his breath. You don't mean that, she whispered. Donald's eyes darkened. You don't know what I mean. Then show me. That was it. The last line. The last wall. Gone. In one swift motion, he pulled her closer. Not gentle. Not careful. But not cruel. It was intense. Uncontrolled. Real. Kate gasped softly, her hands gripping his shirt as if she might fall without him. For years, Donald had buried everything. Pain. Loss. Loneliness. But now, it all came rushing out. In the way he held her. In the way his control slipped, just for her. Kate didn't pull away. She met him with the same fire. The same need. Because deep down, she had been holding it in too. The tension. The questions. The feelings she couldn't name. And now, it had a voice. The world outside disappeared. No guards. No rules. No past. Just two people, broken in different ways, finding something in each other. Something dangerous. Something they could never take back. Hours passed like minutes. The storm outside faded. But inside that room, a different storm had already changed everything. Later, the silence returned. But it wasn't cold anymore. It was soft. Heavy but calm. Kate rested quietly, her breathing slow. Donald sat beside her, staring ahead. He didn't recognize himself. Not the man who begged. Not the man who lost control. And yet, for the first time in years, he didn't feel empty. He turned slightly, looking at her. Peaceful. Real. Alive. His voice was barely a whisper. This never happened. Kate opened her eyes slowly. She looked at him, not with fear, but with understanding. It did, she said softly. Silence. Deep. Unavoidable. Because they both knew the truth. That night wasn't just a moment. It was a turning point. And from now on, nothing between them would ever be the same again. Morning came slowly. Soft light slipped through the tall windows, touching the edges of the room. Kate opened her eyes. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then she felt it. Warmth. She turned slightly. Donald was there. Close, quiet, watching her. Not as a boss. Not as a monster. But as a man. Her heart skipped. Why are you looking at me like that? She asked softly. He didn't answer right away. As if he was trying to understand something he had never felt before. Because you stayed, he finally said. Kate smiled faintly. I said I would. Silence followed, but it was different now. Gentler. Donald stood and walked to the window. Get dressed, he said. Her smile faded a little. There it was. The distance again. But then he added, You're coming with me. Kate blinked. Where? He glanced back at her. Out. The city looked different from inside his car. Safer, calmer. Or maybe it was just because she was with him. Their first stop was a luxury store. Kate hesitated at the entrance. I don't belong here. Donald stepped closer. You belong where I say you do. Inside, everything sparkled. Soft fabrics, bright lights, expensive silence. The staff rushed to greet them. Kate felt out of place. But Donald didn't let her step away. He chose dresses. Shoes. Jewelry. all without asking. "Try it," he said. One by one, she did. Each time she stepped out, his eyes followed her. Careful, focused. Not like before. This time, there was something softer. Something almost protective. "You're starring," she said at one point. "I know." No shame. No denial. Just truth. Later, they walked through the city. No guards close. No fear. Just the two of them. Kate laughed for the first time since she came into his life. And Donald watched her like it was something rare. Something he didn't want to lose. But deep inside, he knew something was wrong. Because men like him don't get moments like this without paying for them. That night, they returned to the mansion. But the air had changed. Too quiet again. Too still. Donald's face darkened. He could feel it. Trouble. Watching. Waiting. And this time, it was coming for her. Kate stood by the window, still holding one of the shopping bags. Her mind was spinning. Everything had changed so fast. The night. The morning. The way he looked at her now. It scared her. But not in a bad way. In a way that felt real. Behind her, Donald entered the room. His energy had shifted again. Cold, alert. Dangerous. "What's wrong?" she asked. He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he walked to the table and poured a drink. "My enemies know about you." Her heart dropped. What? They were watching. Silence hit hard. Kate stepped closer. "So what does that mean?" Donald looked at her. Really looked. And this time, there was no softness. Only truth. "It means you're in danger." Her breath caught. "Because of you." "Yes." No hesitation. No lies. Kate looked down. Then back at him. "I don't regret it." That surprised him. "You should." "I don't," she said again. Stronger this time. Silence stretched between them. Heavy. Then Donald walked closer. Slower. Careful. As if this moment mattered more than anything else. "You don't understand my world," he said. "Then show me," she replied. Those same words. From that night. But now, they meant something deeper. Donald reached out. His hand brushing hers. Gentle. For the first time, gentle. "If you stay," he said quietly, "there's no going back." Kate held his gaze. "I already crossed that line." A long pause. Then, he pulled her into him. Not rushed. Not wild. But certain. Like a decision he couldn't undo. Outside, the wind grew stronger. Dark clouds filled the sky. A storm was coming. And this time, it wasn't just about them. It was about survival. Power. War. But in that moment, none of it mattered. Because for the first time in his life, Donald Kim chose something over power. He chose her. And Kate chose the most dangerous man alive. Not as a maid. Not as a mistake. But as something far more powerful. The one person who could either save him or destroy everything he had built. Will one night destroy them or save them? Kindly subscribe for the part 2 of this cinematic story so you don't miss any episode.